What if the secret to achieving everything you desire is simply letting go? In a world addicted to control, imagine the strength it takes to surrender and watch everything fall into place. You've been pushing, forcing, chasing, but what if peace note pressure is your greatest power? Let me guess, lately, it feels like stress is winning. You're trying to manage every detail, control every outcome, and hold it all together. But the harder you push, the more things seem to fall apart. Sound familiar? Let me ask you something powerful. What if instead of gripping tighter, you chose to release? What if your power doesn't come from control but from trust? Because today, I'm going to show you how to manifest what you truly desire. Without burning out, without forcing, without losing your peace. No, I'm not talking about magic tricks or wishful thinking. What I'll share with you today comes from the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy principles that can help you stop the spiral of stress and start attracting what you've always wanted. It might not be what you expect, but that's exactly why it works. Let me tell you a story. Javier was a top-level executive, someone who always had a plan, a solution, and a reputation for control. His calendar was packed, decisions never stopped, and the pressure never let up. Until one day, his body shut down in the middle of a presentation. A panic attack, frozen, silent. For the first time, Javier had no answer, and something inside him screamed, "What am I doing with my life?" On the advice of a friend, he disconnected. He retreated to a remote cabin, no emails, no phone calls, just silence. At first, his thoughts raced. What's happening at work? What will people say? But slowly, things shifted. As he walked the forest trails and listened to the wind moving through the trees, a quote from Marcus Aurelius echoed in his mind. Accept everything that happens, even if it's different from what you expected. And like fog lifting from glass, Javier saw the truth. He didn't need to control everything for things to go well. He only needed to let go. When he returned to his life, he stopped filling every gap in his day. He created space for reflection, for self-care, for his family. And the results? Better than he ever planned. Work improved. Relationships deepened. He felt peace. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you felt like Javier, carrying a weight too heavy to bear, but too afraid to put down? Maybe today is the day to let go. Let calm do what control never could. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first step. Let go and relax. Picture this. You're standing on a beach, holding a fistful of sand. You squeeze tightly, trying not to lose any. But the harder you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers. That's life when you try to control everything. The more you cling, the more it escapes. You become stuck, frustrated, burned out, and the very thing you want, peace, success, clarity, moves further away. Trying to control everything is like driving with the handbrake on. You go nowhere. You just wear yourself down. But when you release it, suddenly, you move with ease. That's the moment things begin to align. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting the process, flowing with life instead of wrestling it. Let me paint another picture. You've planned a family trip down to the minute departure time, meals, games, but then traffic, rain, a full-blown tantrum in the back seat. What now? Do you explode with frustration? Or do you breathe, accept, and adapt? That's where Stoicism shines. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, but do so with all your heart." Because life isn't about forcing perfection. It's about enjoying the journey even in the rain. Now, I get it, letting go sounds simple, but it isn't always easy. That's why I want to give you 3 steps to help you start. What if I told you that the more you try to control life, the more it slips right through your hands? Let me guess, lately, it feels like stress has the upper hand. You're doing your best to manage it, every moment, every detail, every outcome. But somehow, the harder you push, the more everything seems to unravel. Can you relate? Now let me ask you something powerful. What if the real strength doesn't lie in control, but in letting go? That's right. True power doesn't come from clenching tighter. It comes from trusting more. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through something that might just flip everything you believe about success on its head: how to manifest what you deeply desire without burning yourself out. Yes, it's possible. No, I'm not talking about wishful thinking or sitting back waiting for the universe to do the heavy lifting. What you're about to learn is grounded in ancient Stoic wisdom principles that have helped generations let go of unnecessary stress, reclaim their focus, and gently attract what matters most. This won't be what you're used to, and that's exactly why it works. But before we dive in, I want to invite you into a story, one that might sound surprisingly familiar. You see, when the mind is calm, everything starts to make sense. That's the power of letting go. But what happens when your thoughts are tangled, your worries stacked on top of one another like clutter in an overstuffed drawer? You can't see clearly, can you? All you feel is noise. But when you offer your mind space and stillness, what a relief. That's when clarity enters the room. That's when everything begins to fall into place. Let me take you into a real-life momentous story that shows just how powerful a calm mind can be. A few years ago, a pilot named Chesley Sullenberger, most people call him Sully, faced a moment most of us would consider a nightmare. Imagine this. You're in the cockpit of a commercial airplane, cruising smoothly with over 150 lives depending on you. Everything seems fine until the unimaginable happens. Out of nowhere, both engines fail. A flock of birds slams into the aircraft. Suddenly, the plane loses all power. Below you, only a sprawling cityscape and an icy river. What would most people do in that situation? Panic, freeze, crumble. But not Sully. He closed his eyes for just a brief second and took a deep breath. In that moment, there was no room in his mind for chaos, only focus. He visualized a single goal: landing the plane on the Hudson River without causing disaster. Was he sure it would work? Absolutely not. But he trusted his training, his team, and most importantly, his calm state of mind. He manifested that landing. While alarms blared and passengers sat breathless, Sully spoke in a calm, steady voice. Brace for impact. It wasn't just a technical call, it was a message of strength. A quiet declaration. We've got this. And they did. Thanks to that focused, composed mindset, Sully achieved the extraordinary. He landed that aircraft on the river and saved every single life on board. As Epictetus once said, what disturbs us is not what happens, but our thoughts about it. Sully couldn't control the birds or the engines, but he controlled his mind and turned chaos into calm, panic into precision. So, how do we do that? How can you train your mind to be your best ally in stressful moments? Think of your thoughts like puzzle pieces scattered across a table. It's overwhelming at first until you start grouping them by color, shape, priority. Then, the picture starts to appear. Here's a practical exercise. Spend just 5 minutes a day sorting through your mental clutter. Don't try to fix it all. Just begin placing each worry in its proper corner. Let's say you're juggling a tight work deadline, an argument with a friend, and anxiety about your finances. Imagine these as 3 distinct puzzle pieces. Your work deadline? Place it in a do now corner marked yellow. The argument? Put it in the follow up later corner, maybe orange. Your financial worries? Label them red and store them in a mental pouch to revisit when you're ready to review your budget. Just by categorizing them, not even solving them, you stop the chaos from blurring your vision. You begin to feel grounded, as if you're taking back control without the overwhelm. You may not solve everything at once, but something better happens. You start to feel lighter. You feel progress. And that's powerful. So, worth trying, isn't it? Remember, when your mind is clear, not only do you feel better, you unlock possibilities that once felt unreachable. Because clarity, not control, is the true catalyst for manifesting the life you want. Maybe it's time to stop trying to control every moving part, and instead, start trusting the strength that's already within you. We've talked about mental clarity and how powerful a calm mind can be. But here's the part. Most people overlook your mind can't be clear if your body is running on empty. So let me ask you, how often do you sacrifice rest in the name of getting more done? You convince yourself that staying up late is productive, that pushing through exhaustion shows strength. But what if I told you that mindset is doing more harm than good and slowly dragging you further from the life you actually want? Here's the truth nobody says out loud. Rest isn't a reward or a waste of time. It's the smartest investment you can make in yourself. It's in those quiet hours when the world fades and your thoughts finally slow that your body and mind begin to reset. Not just physically, but deeply, thoroughly. This isn't just about crashing into bed at the end of a long day. It's about creating a space where your system can truly recharge, where you regain the energy to manifest what really matters. Think of your body like a car. If you never change the oil, tune the engine, or check the brakes, it might still run, but not for long. Eventually, it breaks down. Your mind is no different. It needs care. It needs rhythm. It needs rest. When you rest well, you don't just feel better, you think better. You make clearer decisions. You respond instead of react. You become more aligned with the version of yourself you're working so hard to build. And this isn't just poetic. Science backs it up. While you sleep, your brain enters what researchers call deep cleaning mode. According to a study from the Center for Neuroscience at the University of Rochester, your brain flushes out toxins that build up during the day. It's like a tiny cleaning crew quietly sweeping away your stress, your mental fog, your emotional weight, preparing you for a fresh start the next morning. That's why when you sleep well, it feels like hitting the reset button. You wake up clear-headed, emotionally lighter, and ready to focus on what truly matters. Even Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, understood this. He once said, "Even the soul needs rest to be effective." Despite carrying the weight of an empire, he made time to pause, to reflect, to disconnect from the pressure. For him, rest wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. It was strategy. So if he could find time to rest, why can't we? Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Rest sounds amazing, but with work, family, and responsibilities, how am I supposed to make it happen? Don't worry. Here's a simple nighttime ritual you can start today to make real rest a part of your life. 1. Turn off all screens at least 30 minutes before bed, yes, even your phone. Instead, pick up a light book, something relaxing or inspiring, but not something that overstimulates your brain. 2. Write your intentions for tomorrow in a notebook. Nothing fancy. Just a clear thought like, tomorrow I'll give an hour to that project I care about. Or, I'll be fully present in every conversation. This helps your mind align with purpose before sleep. 3. Take 5 slow, deep breaths as you settle into bed. Inhale, hold, exhale. It's a gentle way to remind your body it's safe to rest. And the next time you start thinking of rest as a luxury or something you'll fit in later, remember this: even the brightest stars need the darkness to shine. And so do you. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Stoic Blend for more timeless wisdom. Thank you.